This Week on the Internet is a series where I talk about all the topics I missed during the week. And first up, we have YouTube making Adblock even more useless. So YouTube is currently running an experiment to bake ads directly into the video stream, which means instead of YouTube playing the ads like kind of over the video, it'd be baked directly into the video stream. And YouTube plays it before the actual video on YouTube. But if they start baking it into the video, Adblock will not be able to block the URL of the ad. Now, of course, Adblock will eventually get around that because they always do. But as of now, it is a problem for ad blockers. And this is also a problem for sponsor block, because sponsor block uses timestamps to figure out where it needs to skip the sponsor. And with the ads directly baked into the video stream, this messes up the timestamp because it makes the video longer. And this also has the unintended effect of making timestamps kind of useless, which sucks because I use timestamps for these videos, as you probably noticed. And if you have an ad baked into the video stream, those timestamps are useless at the moment. And another unintended consequence of this change, if you download YouTube videos, sometimes they'll have baked in ads because it's baked in directly to the video stream, which is not really a big deal. It's just kind of annoying. Like, I had to download stuff sometimes to show you trailers and things, and if I had this happen, I would just have to cut the front of the video. But yeah, it's interesting how they change this one thing, and it's broken so many different things on the website. But I guess it just goes to show that Google really is serious about getting rid of Adblock, because they're messing up their own product in the process of testing ways to get rid of Adblock. Now, I doubt YouTube would fully launch in-streaming ads if it messed up timestamps that badly, because timestamps are a kind of big part of the website now. They'll probably have a workaround for that. I don't see why they wouldn't, but ad blockers getting the workaround to block those ads, that's gonna be a lot harder for them. I'm sure they'll figure it out eventually, because they almost always do, but I don't know when that'll be. In a similar vein, YouTube is also testing in required sign-ins, and this one actually just makes sense to me. Now, I don't know about you guys, but pretty much everyone I know and myself all watch YouTube signed in. I don't know how you could watch YouTube not signed in. Like, maybe I'm the odd one out there, but I pretty much watch it always signed in. And if you're not signed in, you really can't tell me because you can't comment. But usually I watch YouTube signed in. And the reason for this is to stop botting, which honestly, at this point, I think is kind of fair. From what I understand, the botting has gotten pretty bad. And there's also a lot of bots scraping YouTube for data. And that takes up Google server space and also manipulates viewer numbers. So I can see why YouTube would have an issue with that. And then also, if you remember from a while ago, Hutch, an OG YouTuber, got his monetization disabled because of invalid traffic. And we don't know exactly what happened with that, but the invalid traffic thing became a big problem. A lot of people were getting hit with this for seemingly no reason. The current theory is that they were bots doing whatever on these people's channels, and YouTube was flagging these channels, even though it wasn't their fault. And then there's also the issue of OpenAI, for example, scraping YouTube to make Sora, their AI video generator, which they seemingly did do, because when someone at OpenAI was asked about it, they froze like a deer in headlights.
What data was used to train Sora?
We used publicly available data and licensed data.
So, videos on YouTube?
I'm actually not sure about that.
Like, that's not suspicious at all. But overall, this YouTube war with ad blockers and bots is probably going to be ongoing for a long time. So I would expect it to keep getting more difficult to block ads. And I would also expect it to be more difficult to just use YouTube in some regards because of bots, which sucks. And next up, we have something that I think is really funny. OpenAI is being paid an exposure by Apple. Now, I covered some of this when I talked about the Apple event, but basically, Apple's working with OpenAI for some of their stuff in regards to AI. And OpenAI is just being paid an exposure. That's literally it. The exact wording is distribution, but it's the same thing. And this is funny because Apple, one, got the way better end of the deal, and two, Microsoft had to pay like $50 billion or something stupid just to buy the company so they could use it. And that's really funny. Apple pays an exposure, Microsoft pays in billions of dollars. But ultimately, all this AI chat stuff is probably gonna die off because it doesn't make any money. So we'll see what happens with that. I just think it's funny that Apple paid an exposure. And next up, we have the former head of the NSA joining the OpenAI board, which doesn't sound good. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. That sounds bad. And next up, we have Discord on the PS5. This is a really good addition to the PS5. It'll make crossplay even more viable, and I don't see why other consoles just don't add Discord. Like Xbox should add Discord, Nintendo should add Discord. It's just what everyone uses at the moment. And it'd be nice to be able to talk to people on Discord on consoles as well as your computer and your phone. This is just a good addition to the PS5. And next up, we have Microsoft Recall. So this recall feature, if you remember, is just a feature that records your screen 24/7 and records everything you do, literally. And this feature was a disaster, as you'd expect, because it's literally just spyware. And it turns out it was super easy to hack. It would literally take someone like 15 minutes to hack this and get all your information. This was probably the stupidest thing Microsoft could ever introduce anywhere. It is actually brain dead. So yeah, I'm glad this feature was recalled because it's a dumb feature and everyone should be against this. There's no reason you should be on board with Microsoft recording your screen 24/7. There's no reason for that at all. And yeah, they said it's only local, but I don't trust Microsoft. They did nothing to reassure you that it's only local or that it's secure. And as we found out, it's not secure. Like, Apple might have added a bunch of similar features, but Apple also spent like 30 minutes of their presentation going over why it was more secure and why you could trust them with your data. Microsoft did none of that. They released this and said, look at this cool new feature. And then everyone tried to hack it, and it was really easy to hack. So yeah, I'm glad this is gone. And next up, we have the most expensive Counter-Strike skin ever sold. And it was sold for $1 million. And the skin is an AK-47 case hardened. And the reason this skin is so expensive is because each pattern of the case hardened is slightly different. And this one is called a blue gem. And this AK is extremely rare. And that's the only reason it sold for $1 million, which is insane for a CSGO skin. Like, actually, that is insane. That is a nice house in like anywhere kind of money. That's an insane amount of money. And next up, we have the HellDivers 2 update/patch. So this update includes a new Warbond, the Viper Commandos, includes armor sets, skins for the mechs and the evac ship, throwing knives, and some new weapons. But that's not the main reason I'm talking about this. Because if you play HellDivers 2, you might have noticed that your favorite gun kind of sucks. I don't know why, but whoever was balancing stuff in HellDivers 2 was nerfing literally everything, and everything just felt bad for a certain period of time, except for like 4 guns. But recently, they did a massive patch that fixed like 100 plus things, and pretty much every gun that was nerfed is no longer nerfed. So if you were waiting like I was to have the guns not feel bad, now's the time to get back into it. The guns feel much better now. And also in HellDivers 2 news, there was recently a major order to either save children or get anti-tank mine technology in the game. And saving children was also in-game, by the way, just so we're all clear. And HellDivers 2 players chose to save the children over the anti-tank mines, which is already kind of impressive because saving the children had no benefit. And in response to HellDivers saving the children, the devs donated $1 for every child saved to a children's charity, which I think is really cool because they didn't have to do that, and they didn't say they were going to do that. So that was cool to see. And next up, we have the Elden Ring DLC, which is coming out very soon, being locked behind defeating Mog. I might be pronouncing that wrong. It's this guy. But only 37% of Steam players have beat this boss. Literally cannot play the DLC even if they bought it because they have to defeat that boss, which is extremely ballsy, but also sick. But I think it's really cool that the developers are just doing what they think is right, because this is definitely not a popular thing. A lot of people probably don't like this. And next up, we have a terrible Twitter update, because when do we not? So Elon Musk didn't like people looking at his likes because he kept liking really weird stuff. So basically, instead of privating his own likes like a normal person, he decided to make all likes on the website private. Now, personally, I don't really care about this. I'm not really invested in Twitter anymore. This site could die for all I care. Honestly, the world would be a better place if it was gone. But a lot of people did not like this change. And in response to this change, people just started spamming the yeah plus emoji from the Wii menu, I'm pretty sure, like the Wii social. So that's kind of funny. It has definitely been like the only thing I've seen on my feed for the last couple days. I don't use Twitter that much though. And overall, people just aren't happy with the likes being private. As I said, I personally don't really care. But guys, let's be real, it's probably gonna get reverted anyways, because every decision made at Twitter is just impulsive. None of it's planned, none of it's thought out. Most of the features that he has implemented have been recalled. So I wouldn't expect this to stay around, especially since I don't know how this is gonna boost engagement on the website at all. Honestly, the only thing it really does is make it so you can't tell who's a bot and who's not, who's liking a tweet. It makes the likes look more legitimate because you can't see all the bot accounts liking the tweets, because I guarantee you, it's a lot of bots. But that's been the weekly recap. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter @spatnz1 and click the now check out more of my content, and have a good one.